Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jessica McDonald. I'm a knitting pattern designer and I'm coming to you from a tiny town in the mountains of Idaho. Today is Friday, December 1st, and we are going to go get our Christmas tree right after lunch. It's about 10:30 in the morning right now. The kids have been set to picking up the living room and the area downstairs where we're going to put the tree, and they're a little bit wound up. So you are probably going to hear them in the background of this video. They are all happy, they're playing. I do think they are making some progress. I may go tell them to be a little bit quieter because they are pretty loud. Hang on. I don't know how effective that will be, but hopefully they're a little bit quieter. My 6-year-old has one volume and it's just very, very, very loud. Today I don't have a ton of knitting to show you, so after I talk about the knitting bit, I'm going to take you out to my barn and introduce you to Toli, our livestock guardian puppy, and all of our ewes. I've been talking about showing them to you for ages, and I was originally planning to start a YouTube channel just for the sheep, but every time I get around to trying to do it and actually get it done, things go just completely haywire and I never managed to get it done, so I thought I'll just film a little bit of video and just add it onto my podcast because I know you all really want to see the sheep. So I filmed last night while I was doing the evening chores, go out and feed a little bit and lock everybody into the barn. And so I filmed a little bit about the sheep. I didn't introduce you to the rams today because they're in a separate corral and I decided that was more than I wanted to do last night. But I introduced you to Toli and all of the sheep and all of the ewes. It has just started snowing, fairly decently hard. It is very dim and dark today, very low clouds, which is why I'm in this room. This is my bedroom. It has the most windows, so it has the best light, so I thought I would film in here so it doesn't look like I'm living in a dark cave. And it has just started snowing. So that might be fun this afternoon when we go and get our Christmas tree. So first of all, let me tell you what I'm wearing. I am wearing Bow. The pattern just came out this week. I was originally planning to release the adult version and the children's version together, but things went not according to plan, so the children's version will be coming in a little while. But this is the adult version and the pattern has now been released. You can find it on Ravelry and my website. You can use the code BOW15. I will put this in the description box below for 15% off the pattern. Or if you are already subscribed to my newsletter, you will have gotten a 20% off coupon. And if you subscribe to my newsletter, you will get a discount code for 20% off your first purchase. And you can use that discount if you want to have more of a discount. If you're on my email newsletter, you get 20% off of new pattern releases. If you're not on my email newsletter, you get 15%. So you get a little bit extra if you're on my newsletter. Bow is knit in Biche et Bouche les lambs wool, which is a Woolen spun lambs wool yarn made in Scotland. Although Biche et Bouche is a French company. I found it to work up at a worsted weight gauge, so I think you should use it. As a worsted weight. It is labeled as a DK/light worsted, but from my experience and the way it behaved for me when I knit it up, I would call it a worsted weight, just based off of the gauge I got when I knit it up. I use the colors dark gray green and light gray. There is also a yarn kit for this sweater on the Biche et Bouche website. I will put the link to the yarn kit in the description box below. You can get it in the original colors that I have, or you can also choose your own custom colors. And Les Lambs Wool has a lot of very, very pretty colors, so you can choose your own color scheme to knit it in, and it'll be very beautiful. So this pattern is now available, so you can go buy it on Ravelry and my website, links to which will be in the description box below. It is actually snowing quite hard. Quite hard. Maybe I'll show you. Hang on. Maybe this will make you dizzy, maybe it won't. This is my garden. This is the fruit trees that you're looking at now. And off in the distance, those black spots are the neighbor's cows. You can see my husband's shop there in the corner of the video. It's snowing. This may be our first sticking snow. That's not too bad. Okay, now let's talk about what I have been knitting lately. I don't have a ton. Oh, this isn't quite all the way back around. A little bit further. I haven't knit a ton lately. We went to my parents' house for Thanksgiving and it's always very busy there, so I didn't have a lot of knitting done over the Thanksgiving weekend, although I did knit quite a bit on my mom's sweater. She's making birch, which is a pattern I released 3 years ago. It's a children's pattern. She's making the size 12 and she's using DK weight yarn instead of sport weight yarn, so it's coming out a little bit bigger. She's quite petite. And it fits her really nicely, but she is really tired of knitting it and she's decided to leave off the sleeves and turn it into a slip over. So she had me fix some things on it. I needed to rip back the front shoulders to the appropriate length. She'd knit them too long. I needed to do all the back shaping for her and join the shoulders for her. And I also picked up for the neckline and knit a couple rounds so she can just read her knitting and knit the knits and purl the pearls. And now she's off again. She really wants to knit a sweater, a colorwork sweater with penguins on it for my niece, but she's told herself she has to finish the sweater she's knitting for herself before she can cast on something new. So she's trying to crank it out and get it done, both so that she can wear it this winter and also because she really wants to knit a penguin sweater for my niece. So that's what I did when I was at her house, is I knit on her sweater, but I did knit a little bit on my stuff, and I'll show you what I knit on. So this is the Finnsheep yarn from Cedar View Farm, and I kind of at the 11th hour threw together part of a pattern just so that I could have something to knit in the car and whilst I was there. This is the back of it. It doesn't look like anything at all. It's an extremely simple pattern. This design is inspired by no purling and no picking up for the button band. So this is the back. You cast on here. This is the cast on between my fingers. You cast on and then you work flat and you work increases at every shoulder so that you have a nice shoulder slope. You can see the slope there. And this is all of the shoulder shaping. This is a top-down seamless drop shoulder construction. It's exactly like the construction I used for Violet. It's a construction that's often used by like Sari Nordland and Petite Knit and Ozetta. It's starting to get a lot more common because I think it's because it's just so simple and easy to do. You don't have to do short rows. You can knit top down so you can try it on as you go and you can easily adjust lengths. That's just a really, I think it's just a really nice construction. It's also really easy to grade, which makes it nice for me. So this is almost the entire tee of the back. I have to knit about another ½ an inch to make it deep enough. It doesn't look like much at all right now. There's going to be a very, very simple detail along the front button band. The button band is going to be worked at the same time as the rest of the sweater, but it's not going to be like a ribbed button band. It's just going to be in the garter stitch as you go. So it's going to be extremely simple, extremely straightforward, no purling. You are going to have to pick up some stitches at the shoulders and at the back of the neck, but you're not going to have to pick up for a whole button band, you know, up the front, around the neck, and down the other side. You're not going to have to pick up all that much. It's going to be really simple, really drapey. Look how drapey that is. This is the Finnsheep yarn from the lady who I bought my sheep from. So it's a really fun knit for me because I'm knitting a sweater out of the yarn from the sheep where my sheep come from, which is super fun for me. So here's the back. It's all garter stitch. It's really drapey. There is a tiny bit of prickle. If I press this yarn to my neck is extremely sensitive. If I press it to my neck, there's a little bit of prickle, but not enough to bother me. But it's not really, you can wear it next to your skin. If you can wear mohair, you will have no problem with this. There's a little bit of a halo to the yarn, my face, so maybe we'll focus on there. There's a little bit of a halo to it, but not a lot. It just adds to the little bit of fuzzy, soft look that the fabric has. So it's garter stitch, but it's not super defined. It just has a soft textured look. And I'm really enjoying it, and I think it's going to be a fantastic sweater. But this one is kind of going to be my background project. I haven't had one in a while where you just, you know, sit and knit and you don't have to worry about the pattern and you don't have to worry about any fussy techniques or anything. So it's kind of going to be my background project, I think, through the holidays, just so that I can make sure I have something to knit, because if you don't have something to knit, that's not a good deal. Now, I did finish one sock. This is the Forest Path socks. I've knit one sock, it's done now. I need to finish up the pattern and get it into test knitting. I really want to release this one in time that you guys can wear, like knit yourself a pair and wear it on Christmas. I'm gonna wear mine on Christmas for sure. This is the color work. You've got a lovely branch star and this tree in the middle of it. So this is the first one is done, and I've started on the second one. I am using Rambler from the Woolly Thistle, and I realized yesterday I was weighing how much yarn I used for the first sock. I realized that I can make myself a second pair of these socks if I flip-flop the colors, and I use the green as the main color and the natural as the contrast color. So I might cast on for a pair of socks in the flip-flopped color scheme as soon as I finish this pair, because I really like them. They're really cute. I really like this whole motif and all of the color work. It's just kind of me. I love it. And then I'll have another pair of socks. I've been kind of precious with my socks. I only have one pair of hand knit socks, which are the fletching socks, and I haven't been wearing them yet because I've only got one pair of socks, and so I feel like I don't have enough socks to wear my socks. So I've been really precious with them and haven't been wearing them, and have just been wearing my Costco wool socks every day like usual, but I need to wear my socks. Because what's the point in knitting them if you don't wear them and they just sit on the shelf in your closet looking pretty? I need to wear them. I really do. This kind of cracks me up. When I was a child, I was very nosy and very sneaky. I still kind of am a little bit. Although I do now understand boundaries a bit better, but I was a very nosy and sneaky child. And my children are not nosy and sneaky. This has Christmas presents in it, and it just sits on the floor of my bedroom, just like this. And they're in here all the time, and none of them have ever looked inside of it. None of them care to look inside of it. And it kind of cracks me up, because if I was a child and this was sitting on the floor of my parents' bedroom, I would know what was in it the instant I saw it. So this has Christmas presents in it. I work on this in the evenings. I generally do it upstairs in my bedroom because sometimes somebody comes upstairs to fill up a water bottle or go potty or something, and I don't want them to walk in on me working on it, so I tend to work on it in my bedroom. But these are the Sleepy Kitties. I only have one done. This is actually turning out to be more time consuming than I originally thought it would be, and I think it's partially because I'm so unused to working with double pointed needles. This whole pattern uses double pointed needles for pretty much everything, which I can understand. Here's the legs for the next kitty, and here's the start of an arm, so you're just working it on double pointed needles. Like this you could, maybe I should try working this magic loop style, but it's just so few stitches that there's not much point in trying to do it magic loop style. And later on, as you get into the body and the head, the instructions are, you know, distribute so many stitches on needle 1, so many on needle 2, and so many on needle 3, and then you do this on needle 1 and that on needle 3. So it is kind of important to use double pointed needles and to have all of your stitches arranged how she says, but I am not a big double pointed needle fan, so I'm finding it a little bit clunky perhaps, or fiddly. But I think it's worth it, because look at this adorable kitty. I need to sew his head on a little bit better. He looks pretty sad, looks depressed. I need to, this is the yarn end that I use to sew on the head. I need to just put a few more whip stitches around the back of his head so he has better posture. Kind of like this instead of being depressed. This is the very first kitty. I'm pleased with how it turned out. I'm glad I didn't do the feet. I kind of like the straight legs just the way that they are. As you can see, there are a lot of ends. There are a lot of ends to weave in on this guy. So I'm gonna have to sit down and do that, and I still need to embroider on You're supposed to take some embroidery thread or colored yarn and put on eyes and a nose and a mouth and some whiskers on his face. So I still need to do that. And like I said in the last episode, I want to make some white patches on him with duplicate stitch. But then I also thought that perhaps I could maybe, like on their bum or something, make a little white heart in duplicate stitch and then use embroidery thread to put their initial on it, so that everybody's kitty has their initial on it, because I want to make sure they know whose kitty is whose kitty, because that will start fights. I also want to knit them all little sweaters, which will undoubtedly go a lot faster than knitting the kitties themselves, but it is already December 1st and I only have one kitty cat done, so this is kind of bad. I am kicking myself now for not sticking to my plan of starting in January and knitting one kitty every few months, because it would have been really nice to come around to this time of year and have all of the kitties already done, and I just need to wrap them. So I'm kind of kicking myself for not doing that, but oh well. So here's the sleepy kitty, just one. Hello. All of my kids really love cats, and all of my kids really love playing with stuffies. And so I think that this will be a very popular gift. I just need to get it done so that, you know, I'm not giving out partial kitties on Christmas, because that would be lame. Hide it so securely again. That is all of the knitting I have to show you. Do keep in mind that I've got links to the patterns and all of the show notes in the description box below. Subscribe to this channel. I can't remember if I filmed like a proper outro on yesterday evening, but now we are going to go to my barn and we are going to meet Toli and the sheep. There you are. Hello and welcome to my sheep barn. This is Toli. He is our livestock guardian dog puppy. He's 9 weeks old and already enormous, as you can see. His name, Toli, comes from Anatolian. He's 75% Anatolian and 25% Akbash. Those are the guardian dog breeds. He is a cross-ad. He's very sweet. He loves lots of attention, but he also really loves his sheep. He's already made friends with all of them and he follows them around, and he's really calm and gentle around them. He's really calm and gentle around the kids. And he's doing really well. He'll also bark at some things sometimes too, even though he's still a baby. You're still a baby. The sheep are all outside. I'm out here to lock them all in the barn for the night. Obviously, Toli's not old enough to protect effectively against any predators like the cougar that we had a few weeks ago, so everybody just gets locked up at night. You just want pets. Including Toli, which he doesn't really agree with. He's trying to dig out at night, but he has to stay in too, because he would easily be killed by a mountain lion, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? There's my puppy. Okay, now let's just not bite on my hair. Don't bite my hair. Let's go call the sheep in. They're all outside. Let's go call the sheep in. This is Pumpkin. He is mad about Toli. He does not like that his favorite place, the barn, has been invaded. This one's name is Clove. Let me see your face. They're eating their grain. This is a terrible time to do it. There's Clove. She's black, head, soft tails. She has one of our longest fleeces. She's the one who had the 5.5 inch long fleece. I was giving you problems before. This is Juniper. She has the cutest face. Juniper, come here. Come here. See her spotted face. It's adorable. Just absolutely the cutest. This is Millie. She's kind of shy and standoffish. She's also our biggest ewe. Hey, Millie. There's Millie. there's the reason for all of the noise. This is Luna, our only all-white sheep. And this is Cinnamon, our only brown sheep. Come here, Cinnamon. She is. She's very sweet. Cinnamon and Clove are sisters, full sisters. They're all enjoying their dinner. The girls get a bit of grain in the evening so that they come into the barn in time to be locked in at night. But this evening they were naughty and they stayed out in the pasture and I had to go out and get them all. I would be remiss if I didn't show you all of their fleeces. This is Clove. Hold still, Clove. Nope, this is Juniper. Here's Juniper. If you want to see down in her fleece, this is what her fleece looks like. She is a black piebald, so she's mostly white, but she's got some of these black spots on her, which is really cute. Hopefully she has a bunch of spotted lambs. Then here's Millie, and she is black badger piebald. So she's spotted and she's also kind of dark on the bottom end. Here's her fleece. She says, "Don't touch me." She has the nicest crimp of all of our ewes. Look how amazing that looks. Now we're back to Clove. Hi, Clove. Nope. Here's Luna. Luna didn't like me for a very, very, very long time because she required a lot of doctoring when she first showed up. And I was the one who did all the doctoring, so she decided she hated me right up until I started feeding her every day, and then she decided I was okay. She also has a very nice fleece, but she has a really bad section of wool break, which you can see right there where it gets thinner. That's from when she wasn't doing well. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but we'll see. And here's Cinnamon, my brown sheep. This will be my only brown yarn. She has an extremely long fleece too. Super duper long, but very, very soft and lofty. She's probably got 6 inches or more already for her fleece. And here's Clove again. Will you stand still, Clove? Nope. I just want to pet you. I just want to pet you. Let me pet you. A little bit. Her fleece is really hard to see because it is so dark. The outside of her fleece gets a little bit bleached by the sun, so that's why it's kind of caramel colored on the outside, and then down inside it's all black. And she's a black headstock tails. She was a little fireball when she came, and then once she discovered back scratches, she got a lot nicer. So here they all are. Hopefully they are all pregnant now. This is a feeder my husband and I built this summer. It makes it super easy to feed them, and we don't waste any hay. The kids can feed them entirely on their own. And the reason there's that second board very close on the bottom, this board right here, the reason that's there is the instant we built the manger, Clove jumped into it. So we had to put another board lower down. I'll introduce you to the rams a different day. I've already got them locked up for the night. They get locked in our stock trailer because I can't leave them in the barn, both for the safety of the kids, and they also really just harass the ewes constantly to see if they're in heat. Oh, Toli, I stepped on your foot. So the rams are out of the barn, but they're okay. They have shelter and nothing can eat them. Toli, do you eat hay? Do you eat hay? Silly goose. I hope you enjoyed this little visit to my sheep barn. I'm going to go back in the house. The sun has just set, so I need to get back inside before it gets too dark. They're all having their dinner. Toli's in the manger. He won't stay out. I guess he thinks hay is yummy too. But please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you'd like to see more videos from me. And if you like this hat that I've been wearing, this one's called Bloomy Light, and I'll put a link to the pattern in the description box down below. Make sure you sign up for my email newsletter if you like my patterns. I'll talk to you guys later.